Churchill High School. I went to Sexsmith, the old school before it was torn down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was living in Vancouver. I was born in 1959, so I grew up with Vancouver being kind of a very quiet, hardly any crime.
Mm-hmm.
X86 came, it changed. But you know, the thing is, when you grew up through the, not for me, but when you grew up through the 50s and that, your parents bring their baggage of how they interpret things because they went through the war, or how they interpret other cultures.
Yeah.
And not everybody that reads the Quran or who is Islam is bad people.
Yeah.
And it's sad that they show constantly the bad people on TV.
Yeah.
And I just wish we could do something to stop these people, because it's a beautiful country.
Yeah, I think you're very wise in your understanding of the way that the media is trying to portray Islam, right? I think maybe because you're like, why are they doing it? I think if you look at what Islam teaches versus what society is trying to put out, it'll make sense. Like, for example, I don't know if you know, Islam is against alcohol.
Oh, yeah, I know. You know what they should do? They should show the positive side of all religions on TV. So people would be focused on the positive and not show the negative, because there's people that are, weak, and they will follow that. The computers are really bad for young people that follow the corrupt. There are people that they say they follow the Quran, but they're the ones that are corrupt, like tricking young people to follow and causing all of this mayhem.
Yeah.
And I think it makes me cry that people are using religion. But how can people live in their heart doing all of this bad stuff? Like, why?
Well, you know what we think it is? It's some of the reasons is it's related to profits over people. Like, for example, Islam is against, like I mentioned, Islam is against alcoholism. So if you have a religion that says it's wrong to drink alcohol, and the society as a whole accepts drinking of alcohol to the point where they allow bars and liquor stores and things, obviously you're going to paint that religion as a bad religion, right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if you know, but Islam is against interest. Like in the banking system, Islam is against interest. So if you have a religion that says it's actually immoral to have interest, and the whole society is based off interest-based loans, that's obviously going to be painted in a bad way, right?
From my background, a lot of stuff that's done is it's wrong. Like, it is so wrong.
What is your background? Sorry.
I'm a Baptist, but for say, it's the whole system is so corrupt. It's like money is the root of all evil, but the whole system is so corrupt. People are becoming more self-centered, and there is no need for the way the banks are doing their thing, or way Trudeau's doing his thing. It's so bloody corrupt. It's like when I was growing up as a kid in Vancouver, we had groups, when you're doing election, they went around in the neighborhood asking people what they need help with, and it was done. Now it's like, we're allowed to make money, but people are being greedy. They're charging more for rent on your store than you really need to, and it makes me sick to my stomach that these people are allowed to do this. So,
and in Islam, like, it's interesting that you're saying like the shortcomings of the secular society that we live in, and how they are not concerned about the welfare of their neighbors, right?
But people in general.
Or people in general. In Islam, actually, I don't know if you're aware, but Islam has this principle that we cannot cause any undue hardship onto anyone, right? So one of the things that we have in Islam that makes people... Here you go, sir.
Can I get that one there?
Jesus?
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
One of the things that we have in Islam is a social welfare system called zakah. So all of the society, whatever they have saved after paying off all of their debts and all of their expenses, and they have that portion of money that has passed a year on that wealth, they give 2.5% of that wealth to certain classes of people that are like the poor, the needy, these types of people.
But that's the way it should be.
Should be,
like
right?
The really rich people make money, and the money that they make, a percentage should go into things to help
Exactly.
people and
Exactly.
to have affordable housing, right?
Yeah. Thank you. No problem, sir.
That's what I'm getting at, is affordable housing. And they're saying the cost of living, they should freeze rent. And, and even families. As I said, like, I'm born spiritual, and I cannot do the secular things that
are
do.
going on right now.
I tried
right?
one time. I got so sick. I actually threw up.
Yeah.
I can't do it. We're supposed to be there to help each other, so people of all income levels can have affordable housing.
Yeah.
And help each other, but not the way Trudeau is doing it. He's making.
I have a
it worse.
question for you. Like,
Go ahead.
do you think like it's possible in a society where they've removed God out of the equation? Like, Canada is.
Yes, because when I was growing up in Vancouver, in the neighborhood, every neighborhood had its own church, and everybody went to church.
Mm-hmm.
And there was its own little corner store.
Mm-hmm.
Sundays, nothing was open.
In your religion, they respected the Sabbath.
Yeah,
like at that time.
Like a Jewish, yeah, like it was like really like geared that way. It's because I said we could go out to Denny's or something, but we weren't allowed to play cards or anything on a Sunday.
It was more conservative in values at that time, right?
Yeah, and it was really that. And Thursdays, it was like actual family night to play games or sit and discuss. So the values, positive values that I grew up with have been, and it's always.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, like I think it has to do partially with like the liberalization of the West, where we're moving away from conservative ran governments to a more liberal ran government.
Yeah, but it's so bloody corrupt. Everything I can think of, it's so bloody corrupt. And as I said, for me living in Vancouver, knowing the way Vancouver was, and knowing the way Chilliwack was when I was growing up as a little kid out here, you could say good morning, good afternoon, a talk, you want to go for coffee, and we would talk about what was going on in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and then we all go on our own way.
So what I think like the underlying factor maybe that you could like relate to is that there was an increase in the society of a fear of God, of a belief in God.
Yes,
right?
Because as I said, when they started getting with your cell phone and the computers, people that were pedophiles and all of this started putting this crap on it. That's my version of swearing.
Yeah.
And that really, put things in people's heads. The self-centeredness, pushing away from things that are positive, like going out of your way to help people.
Maybe it might interest you to hear about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He's the prophet that we follow in Islam.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah,
So he's the distant cousin of Jesus, peace be upon him, in the lineage of prophets. He comes from the line of Ishmael, the son of Abraham.
I've heard of Ishmael. It's been so long because I've had friends that did the Quran and everything. And as I said, I call it the Bible too. And when I was reading it, and it's very similar to.
Yes, in its sentiments about there being one God, about you having to follow the law that God revealed to his prophets, about following the messengers that God sent. All of these things we agree with as far as what the biblical narrative is, right?
Yeah.
But I think one thing that we need to find as a distinction is that as Muslims, we believe in pure monotheism, meaning that there's only one creator worthy of worship and truth, right?
Yeah.
when you told me that you were a Baptist, I believe that as Baptists, you guys believe in a Trinitarian version of God. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. And
What do you personally believe? I understand what the church believes. But what do you personally believe? Do you believe that it makes sense that God is a Trinity?
Right now, it's like I said, I'm suffering a bit from PTSD, and sometimes my mind has a hard time clearing it. But I believe in one God, and that one day we will meet up with Him again.
Okay, the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So, like, specifically about the identity of Jesus, because Muslims believe in Jesus as well. I don't know if you know that. We believe in Jesus as a prophet, as a messenger that God sent.
Yeah, He's the Son of God.
You believe that He's the Son of the God. What can I ask you, like, what do you mean as far as, like, when you say Son of God? Do you mean, like, He's biologically related to God, or do you mean, like, that He is a righteous person?
You know, as I said, I have a hard time with people because I have social anxiety.
Okay.
So I have a hard time.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, no, but, you know, as I said, it's you know, and then knowing that, you know, how Jesus is related to James and just everybody. It's just, yeah, because, yeah.
Can I tell you what we as Muslims believe as far as what we believe about Jesus? So we believe that Jesus is the Messiah, meaning the anointed one, the one that was born to the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And the Virgin Mary was a righteous woman, meaning she did not have extramarital relationships right? So we believe in the miracle birth, right? And we believe that Jesus was allowed to do miracles by the permission of God. He was able to cure the blind. He was able to cure the leopard. He was able to bring the dead back to life by God's permission.
It's not like the Jewish people where they're still waiting.
Exactly. Like, we don't believe we're waiting still for the Messiah. We believe that Jesus in the Quran he's called Isa. We believe that Isa is the Messiah, the son of Mary. What we don't believe though, as you mentioned, that when you say that Jesus is the Son of God, if you define Son of God as a righteous person, then I can agree with you that Jesus is a righteous person, and that there are other sons of God in the Bible that are also righteous people. For example, Abraham is called the son of God, Ephraim is called the son of God, Adam is called the son of God. The Bible said that all who are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. So in that definition of all that are led by the Spirit of God or follow God's law are the sons of God, I can have an agreement with you on there, right?
It's just for me, it's just if I can get myself used to being around people, I can really get talking that way, because I would do that. But this one here, what is that about? So
this is what a Muslim believes. So we have 6 pillars of faith. So our first pillar is that we believe in God, that there is only one God, creator. Well, you can take this is for you. We have only one creator worthy of worship and truth. We believe in the prophets that God sent. So some of them you already know the names of, like Adam, Noah, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, peace be upon all of them. As a Muslim, we have to believe in all of the prophets that God sent, right?
Yeah, it just, for me, it's so sad for me that with post-traumatic stress that I have such a short-term memory, and yet when you talk,
it's registering slowly.
I know all of it. It was amazing when I was a shipper receiver, how much I had to know, phone numbers and everything.
Yeah.
But then when I got post-traumatic stress, it's
something kind of there was a bit of an injury to the mind.
Yeah. And I tried to go and get help, but it's sort of really like changed that part of me. Like I'm very spiritual and everything.
You know,
I don't feel like I'm the same person. No matter what I try to do. It's made me more like scared of people when I should not be scared of people.
You know, in one of the names of Allah is just the Arabic word for God.
Yeah.
So that's why we say Allah, because there's no feminine or plural to Allah. That's why Muslims say Allah. But one of the things about Allah is that one of his names is Ash-Shafi'. Shafi' means the cure. He is the one who cures.
You know what? If I had to change my name, I like that. I like that name.
Sorry?
If I had to change my name, I like that name.
You like that name? So
yeah.
what I can resonate with your situation because I have a past that was quite traumatic as well.
Yeah.
And what I would do is what we call supplication, we'd call upon God and I'd ask him to cure me.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to call upon that one creator to ask for that cure because he's the source of the cure, right?
And the thing is, for me, I have to have people to talk to me calm, quiet, and peaceful. I cannot handle if you raise your voice or talk harsh, or if I'm talking, if you interrupt or you keep pushing me for something, I get easily triggered.
Irritated and turned off from the conversation. Yeah.
And it's kind of sad in that way because
I don't know if it's sad.
I said a long time ago that I'm like carefree, easygoing. Nobody's going to take it away from me. But when you keep trying to fill up your tank, it gets low, up, low, and then it gets where it gets exhausted, and it's really, really frustrating, and
I understand.
And I really don't like to be scared of people, but it's got that, and I don't know what God has in store for me with that, but it's very crippling.
Maybe there's one thing you can take with you that might help you as a tool for this, what we call anxiety. We have a belief and a statement that says that whatever has afflicted you, that appears as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Know that is part of the destiny that God has for you, right? And the idea being that if the entire world were to come together to try and harm you in some way, but the Creator did not write that harm for you, then no matter how hard they try, they cannot hurt you. And the opposite is also true, that no matter how hard the whole world came together, tried to make an effort to benefit you in some way, and God did not write that benefit for you, there's no way that they would be able to go against the destiny of God. So remember that whatever afflicts you in your life is part of God's destiny for you. Sometimes it's to teach you a lesson. Sometimes it's to bring you back to Him. Like when you have an affliction that occurs to you, you turn back to Him and pray.
I know the one group of people that I do not trust and I do not like is the federal government. No, I really don't. I
think we're all with you on that one.
I don't like how they're structured. And I've noticed every time when we attack Trudeau, he twists it to get them to do something, to get back at us. And I hate to say it, I don't like swearing. I want to get that little twerp out because he is not his fault. He's not like Pierre, like his father. And
I understand what you're saying. My hope is that whoever does win the next election, that they at least that they're honest. Because if what the Conservative Party leader is saying is true, and he wants to axe the tax, and he wants to get back to common sense values and to make it affordable to live in Canada again, I support that idea of making it affordable.
Of raising rent once a year is not the solution.
It's hard.
Please rent. There's other ways of structuring and getting things.
Yeah.
But with the, what is it, like as I said, with the way he's doing it and the way they're doing it,
it's just not working out for us very well. It hurts the working class, right?
Because everybody needs help, and every time you help, it costs money. And like, for example, I hear that when you have new immigrants come, they're told all of this, and when they get here, it's not what they've been told. And it's not just new people coming here. People like me are told this, and when time for me to go and do, who told you that?
Yeah, my dollar is not what it used to be, right?
Yeah, no, but
so it's very difficult to survive.
They say this. And they said, who told you that? And I said, this is what's in the pamphlet. And
the
like,
pamphlet.
So it's or just verbally.
Yeah.
So it's just not new people coming. People who are lived here all their life are also misled. And yet people that work in Parliament somehow get all of their stuff, but make it difficult
for the working class.
What I don't like is when they make mistakes, instead of them taking responsibility, they take it out on us, and we're supposed to help them pay it back.
Yeah, we suffer because of the lockdown from COVID. We suffer because of all of that went on with the Arrive scam app that they use for that time. We're suffering because our taxes are going to cover that cost.
We didn't make the decision.
We didn't make those. Yeah,
they made the decision.
Take it out of their salary, you know?
Because they get bonuses, they get these so-called raises, they get, expense salaries.
Yeah, Trudeau had a share in the mask company that he made mandatory, so he made money off of making it a mandatory to wear masks.
Money. Instead of putting it in the money where it was, the CEO got a raise, he gave his upper class staff a raise.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, it's like, when the government makes mistakes, they should fix it. And not take it out of our money.
Yeah. Do you and when I'm because I want to bring it back to what we were talking about before.
I don't mean to do that, but I just
it's okay. I understand.
I know other countries have it way worse than we do here.
Yeah.
But that's just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is
it can be better for sure.
We're talking about how people are getting away from God and everything.
Yeah.
And you think that's the worst place people are getting away from God. It's like, it's easy to talk, but do they follow through and do it?
Yeah.
No. And that's when you're voting, oh, hey, he's doing this, he's doing this. And then when the election's finished, they don't do that.
They don't do what they say, yeah. That's why I don't find it, I don't find a reason to vote. Like me personally, I don't see there's a point in voting because whoever I vote in, they're still going to lie and cheat and steal from the people anyways.
Well, yeah, see, that's what I'm getting at, love. It's like, and I'm just trying to give you how, for me, being born here in Canada and being here way before all of this development, I remember the days when Gastown was a total ghost town. It was all run down and everything.
And now it's like this,
and like here, this is all dead.
Yeah, this is all new, right?
And it's all built up.
Yeah.
But,
I was born here as well, but obviously I'm a lot younger than you, and I remember kind of a similar sentiment where there was a lot more like traditional values in the community, and now it's moving towards a more like individualistic society.
You know, and I believe what you're doing. We should share our backgrounds so people are not falling back on the mentality of the 1950s.
Yeah.
And get our minds out of the crap that's on TV. Get where it's
talk to people like you said, right? And learn.
To show what the Islam community is doing to be a part of the community.
Yeah.
It's like every Fasaki day in Vancouver, they show what they do to be involved in Vancouver.
Yeah.
What they do with charities and different things.
Yeah. Yeah. So like they don't really cover our holidays or, you know, the things that we're doing. Yeah. I know exactly what you're doing. In regards to the belief about Jesus, just to bring it back. So if you were to put Jesus as like a righteous person, then I can agree with that. Yeah. But if you believe that an innocent person died for the sins of the whole world, we as Muslims find that to be unjust, and we believe that God is just. So we believe that a person is accountable for himself, not an innocent person can be accountable for you. that is also a great book. I would encourage you to take it. And I don't know if you have an English translation of the Quran.
No, I don't.
This is for
I
you
don't.
then.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like, as I said, there's a lot of other things that I was going to mention about, but it's just like right now, like when people voted, families need help. But originally Trudeau said he was going to help low-income seniors and single people.
Yeah, that did.
And he put that off to the side.
Yeah.
And then he wants to help families. And then he realizes, oh my goodness, we've got to build low-income housing. It should have been from ground zero. You build low income for like 4 levels of income. So we all, because they originally came out in the 70s, is those co-ops, right?
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
And it should have kept going.
Yeah.
Not, oh my God, here comes Expo 86, let's build these $1 million thingamajiggies. How many of them were vacant?
Yeah.
And now people are applying for affordable housing, and a lot of them were like over $1,000, and a lot of people can't afford over. So
yeah, the rent is too much, and then they allow foreign investors into the country to develop certain things, but then those places remain vacant because.
So, and I heard on TV that they're going to put a stop to it, that people from other countries that are not Canadian cannot buy vacant land, cannot buy houses at all. If they're going to buy a house, they have to be a Canadian and they have to live in that house. No, it never should have been that. If you're going to have the population the way it is, it should have stopped 10 years ago.
Yeah, it should have been ahead of the curve.
About money laundering, some people, like, they were buying houses.
That's how they were doing it.
And they were storing the money, and I going, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's how they were doing it. But
you know, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just, and then you get the students, like in the United States, protesting on what's going on.
You know, Elsa?
Yeah, like, I don't mind it, but, you know, the whole world is going.
It's backwards. This is something that I think, I don't know if you also believe in the Judgment Day, but this is signs that.
You know what, love, not to interrupt you, I need something really positive because I'm a very sensitive person. And once I pick up on that energy, I really start, because I got a bit of a, like, because of PTSD, I got a bit of impact. And if I pick up on this energy, it affects.
It affects you, yeah.
So I need to I don't want to talk to you anymore, but I really need to get out of this space because.
No problem.
Yeah, you're great. I would love to sit down and have a coffee and talk about it. And I really thank you for it, because I know you've got your church just down here.
Yeah, the new masjid is built just down the street there.
Because you know what it used to be? It used to be a church and it was painted pink.
Yeah, I remember yeah.
Because I used to do my income tax there.
Okay.
And I thought, a church, pink.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us and learn about our religion. And if you have any other questions, you read anything and you have any other questions, you can contact us.
For me, you're a very sincere person. You speak from the heart, and you really have compassion for other people, and that's the way I am. And I would sooner spend time talking to you, because we're all supposed to be family. We're supposed to get along with each other, not saying one is better than the other. And I don't believe in that. I love learning. I love learning how to cook another person's food and such, and learn the language. But I don't believe in talking about another person behind their back. I don't.
That's actually it's a major sin. It's one of, like, it's a very great sin in Islam to what we call backbite, to talk about somebody behind their back. Even if it's true. If it's true, it's backbiting, and if it's a lie, it's slander, which is even worse.
You know what the only thing I do is I'll ask somebody, what can I do? Because every time I talk to this person, I agitate. So what can I do and say, do not agitate this person. That's the only thing I say. And then I know how to speak to the person and keep them calm, because they know that person really well, and they know how to say the right words. That's the only thing I do. I don't. And if we're talking, it's between me and you. It's up to you to speak, not me.
Yeah, I think anyways, my evaluation is that we had a conversation filled with manners and etiquettes today, and it was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope that if you look into what we believe as far as Muslims, that we have like that 6 articles of faith. We believe in books that God revealed to mankind. We believe in angels. We believe in the day of judgment, and we believe in destiny. Yeah. And all of these things make our belief as a Muslim.
And you know what? We need to get back to the purity of our religions, not what these toxic people have brought into them.
Yes, don't water down the religion.
Distort it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe, like, I know that you come from a Baptist background, but I believe that Islam is the only religion on the face of the earth that has maintained its purity from the time it was revealed until now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, because there's like so many people that mislead. There's so many people's minds, they're so weak that they will believe in fake religions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when you've got these, what do you call them? Not
cults.
Like Saddam Hussein, those
extremists.
Yeah, you got the extremists where they say they follow the Quran, but they twist it to turn it into something very bad.
It's like the KKK or Hitler who claim to be Christian, right?
That's
it's
what
like
I mean.
people are just because someone claims to be part of a certain religion, you have to check, are they implementing what
like
the
Jim
text?
Jones, like that Jim Jones guy, he claimed it. He was Jesus, and he got people to believe in him. And there was this Sun Moon guy, and I mean, there's so many
cults and stuff,
so
false prophets.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the wars going on, and the people that are starting these wars are twisting the truth, and people with weak minds are believing it. They're walking away.
That's why it's very, like in Islam, it's very important for us to verify information and to make sure that whatever you are following, that if you claim that it's from God, ensure that it is preserved.
And keep the truth from the prophet that you said that originally started what he had written, the truth.
Well, let me give you some information before you go.
Yeah.
As Muslims, we believe that all of the prophets were Muslim, because the meaning of the word Muslim means somebody that submits their will to that of the Creator. So we as Muslims believe that Adam, Noah, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon all of them, they all submitted their will to the Creator, meaning that they were all Muslim. Yeah. So Muslim has been on the earth since Allah, God, created the earth.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
But the Quran is that final revelation from Allah, the Creator, to mankind, so that we know what is right and what is wrong in our day to day, because it has been preserved in the original Arabic. Whereas the Bible, it has been gone through many changes, right?
Yes, because the original for me was, I guess, the King James. Like I know there's the Jewish one, but for the English one, it'd be like the King James, which is the old one, and then it's come down into different versions, like the new international version.
Yes.
So forth.
And then in that, like we have a King James version of the Bible. In that King James version of the Bible, you find many contradictions and errors that would not be fit to be called the Word of God.
Yeah,
right?
Because if you can read the original Sanskrits that were originally written, it tells it the way it was.
Manuscripts, yes. So you can tell then that, and this is what we always put forth to the...
I mean, for example, if I had to keep it close, I would read the King James, even though some of it is off, but it's a little bit closer because it's a lot older version. And when you read it, you can like tell that there's some things that are a little off, but some things in there that are true. Because when they didn't understand something, they would put something where they could understand it.
So that's where you, being as a logical, rational person, being aware that there is truth, but there is also falsehood in one book, it would be better for you to follow a book where there are no falsehood in it.
It's like the Puritans when they did the Salem witch hunt. If you didn't follow him and scare tactics were put in, you were considered this and that.
Yeah.
I know. It's just.
So then that's where we would say that the Quran is that pure revelation from God, so that you don't have to worry about is this true or is this false.
That's why people have the weak mind. It's like we call mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Mass hysteria.
You know what I mean? It's like where somebody starts and then everybody jumps in and starts to believe something that's not true.
Yeah.
So there's that thing on Allah, but you know. I'm open-minded. Some things I don't quite, what is the word, savvy, but I keep open-minded. I keep to know what my heart feels that it's true.
Yes.
Because humans do write things, but I want to hear what God writes, not what humans write.
That's amazing that you're saying that, because the Quran is not the words of human beings. It's the words of Allah, the Creator, verbatim. Whereas, as you mentioned, the Bible, they say that it is the inspired word of God by the Holy Spirit, but people are writing.
Because you know, right? As people, each person can see something different.
Exactly.
And interpret things differently.
Exactly. So then I think that you being a sincere person, you want that pure message from God. You want to when you're reading something, you want it to be God is talking to me, not a person that says that God is talking through him.
For me, from what I've gone through, I can feel it here.
Yeah.
And I can tell if somebody's lying or somebody's cheating. I said to somebody, "You're not telling me the truth. I'm telling you the truth." But I can feel it. I can feel that energy that you're not truthful. But you know, you have to leave it as what. But yeah, I'm glad your tape was here. I just hope one day things will get better.
It was a pleasure talking today, ma'am, and I hope that, you know, if you have any questions, we usually are here every Sunday. So if you find yourself having a question about something, hopefully we can speak again and continue this beautiful dialogue.
Yeah, no, because I know people that did follow the Quran. That was way, way, way back. And how much your Quran was very similar to, for me, and that. But I just want things to be more pure, not this.
Not all of the fluff in between. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you allow yourself that space to digest what we spoke about, and allow your your levels of whatever is going on with you to calm down.
This in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to digest, so it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
And it was good for you to stop here.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you later.
Inshallah.
Have a good one. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How's it going?